Listen, all ye hypocrites who hear with so-called open hearts and willing ear, just how, while writhing in my sweat-soaked bed, that crass reminder I would soon be dead, I dreamed I watched my own unwanted birth from high above the teeming, steaming earth. While several feet away there hovered two malignant little shapes, my parents, who, through vacant, apathetic eyes, looked on. It was the hour just before the dawn, that oh so little hour, that magic time, when madmen, dreamers too, are in their prime, when most men die, most babies, too, are born, and those condemned to life must bravely mourn the loss in their poor lives. Oh, churlish fate, and most unlucky timing, not to wait a little hour longer for the dawn, when sunrise wakens with its sleepy yawn. No, you insisted on, impatient demon, now, the present hour, Vargtimmen, yea, the hour of the wolf. And so, the moment came. From somewhere deep below, a belching push. 'Twas time for me to be. It happened just like that. Amazingly, I saw myself untimely ripped and hurled out into all the colors of the world, my blinking eyes at pains to focus. But the all-consuming question was, on what?
The Hour of the Wolf, or in Swedish, Vargtimmen. The inquisitive viewer will, no doubt, be wondering how such an esoteric concept even entered the gridman's awareness. The answer may be found in a journal entry, which I will quote at length. Friday night. Was at the usual sports bar tonight for free happy hour pizza. Very crowded and noisy with the usual obnoxious Yahoo types. But not far from me at the bar, there was a young man sitting by himself, scruffy beard, glasses, who stood out so incongruously from the rest of the crowd. It was like he accidentally stumbled in from another planet. He was scribbling with a pen into a notebook, completely oblivious to all the noise around him. Just the visual impact of the sight was transfixing. At a certain point, a young girl, who did fit in perfectly, I should add, came up to him. She was drunk and giggling, and she said to him, "Wow, are you writing a novel?" The guy just looked at her, barely masking his contempt, and said to her in a very flat tone, "No, it's a long, very complicated suicide note. And when the notebook is filled, the note will be finished, and it will be time to die." The girl just looked at him and walked away quickly. For me, it was practically love at first sight. A little while later, the guy went to the back, to the men's room, leaving the notebook unattended on the bar. I simply couldn't help myself. I took it and ran home. The stolen notebook has never been found, but from various clues in the Gridman archives, it appears to have been some sort of manuscript of a play composed entirely of rhyming couplets of perfect iambic pentameter. One particular speech, however, apparently impressed the Gridman so much that he copied it word for word into his journal and used it as the basis for the video we have just seen. Note that although certain portions of the speech are seen in the video as written text, the speech is never heard spoken out loud. We have therefore appended a recitation of the speech in its entirety to the start of the video to slightly, and I stress slightly, appease those silly and clueless critics who argue the video is incomprehensible without prior familiarity with the speech, and hence a complete failure. Of course, this is something only the viewer can decide for himself. Please forgive the poor quality of the recitation, which was contributed free of charge by a third-rate, out-of-work actor desperate to at least temporarily forget his horrific day job at a corporate law firm. You get what you pay for. Certain scholars still hold out hope that the stolen manuscript will surface someday. It is fair to say this is unlikely at best.